Welcome back. I hope everyone is enjoying all the great baseball being played right now. And if you can't get to a major league stadium, I hope you're going out and enjoying some of the guys grinding it out in the minors. I am Grayson Knight, and this is Baseball Podcasts Are Fun. I've had the good fortune to interview a few big leaguers on the show, but it's the guys in the minors that usually are bringing the heat during these interviews. These guys are busting their butts and taking buses to and from games with the hope of one day becoming a Major League Baseball player and playing in front of millions of people. These are guys I've worked out with all of off season and learned so much. So today I cracked the big. I have a player from the Washington Nationals organization that is hoping to crack the big league roster this season. Jack Dunn plays shortstop for the AAA Rochester Red Wings. But with any luck, he'll be in DC sometime soon. Folks, please welcome Jack Dunn. How are you, Jack?
Good, man. How are you? I like that introduction.
Thank
Killed
you.
it.
So, thank you for being here, but I know we've never met in person, but my teammate Spencer has had the chance to work out with you, and he's learned a lot from you. So do you like working with young players?
I love it, man. It kind of brings me back to that age when I was a kid and I just loved baseball. I loved working out. I loved taking ground balls. When I was a kid, I used to dream about being a varsity high school baseball player. And, looking back now, it's kind of crazy how far I've come. So anytime I get a chance to work with a kid who, 10, 12, 13, however old they may be, I just love seeing their enthusiasm and their energy and their work ethic and hopes maybe one day play college, play pro ball. So I love getting out there and helping the youth.
Hmm. So, how many off seasons have you done instruction?
I think this is my third. I started during COVID when the season got shut down. So yeah, it was kind of a little blessing in disguise.
Is there any like tricky stuff about teaching kids my age?
Maybe their attention span, but other than that, no, man. They're uh they're hard workers. Are you working out right now?
Well, I mean, not right now, this second, but yes,
Uh,
in general, I am working out a
Okay.
lot. Hmm.
What's your schedule like every week?
Well, I'm doing winter basketball, and my
Okay.
baseball practices just started. So I really have only like 1 or 2 days a week that I can do workouts.
Okay, nice. And I know you've been playing center field, right?
Yeah, mostly outfield.
Mostly outfield. Do you pitch at all or no?
Yeah, a little bit. I did a bullpen last night,
How'd
so
it go?
pretty good. Like 15 pitches.
There you go.
I'm shutting down on curveballs for a year because my arm. I got tendonitis over the summer because I went to Cooperstown and I threw like the most I've ever thrown.
Yeah. Dude, Cooperstown was unreal. It was probably my favorite baseball experience. I
You
still
went?
remember it like it was yesterday. Yeah. I went back when I was 12, so that must have been 2008. And that was the first time you really got to, stay with your teammates in those barracks, kind of spend every single second with your boys, going to the arcade, eating, playing a bunch of games. So that was really when I went to Cooperstown. I went to the Hall of Fame. I went to like the minor league baseball store. I bought a minor league hat and everything. That's kind of when I started to think like, I want to do this for the rest of my life. So that was an awesome week.
Wow. So I went this summer and I got tendonitis on the last regular game, and then I
Okay.
couldn't really play for the next two games. Which sucks because we had a 14-run inning and a kid on my team hit two grand slams in the same inning. So it was really
No
cool.
way.
I wasn't really a part of that. So,
That's crazy though. To hit one grand slam
yeah,
is awesome. To hit two in the
like
same inning, that's unheard of.
Fernando Tatis in like 2000 something did that.
Exactly. How'd you do in Cooperstown? Did you ball out?
I hit two home runs, and
Nice.
I got a save on the first game of Cooperstown. That's really my details. And
That a
oh,
baby.
and
I
on
think I
the
hit two homers, so you tied me.
and one of the last games, I was in center field. This is before I hurt my arm. I was in center field, a guy on second, and there was a ball hit to me, a ground ball, and I threw the guy out at home on a laser, no hops.
At a baby, long hop, no hop. You're
Hmm.
learning.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So were you lucky enough to meet or work out with pro ball players when you were my age?
My dad played at Georgia Tech, so I grew up going to Georgia Tech baseball games, and I used to sit in the dugout with one of my best friends growing up, Carter Hall. His dad's the head guy at Tech, so I got to be around a lot of college baseball players, but I don't really think I ever met um, or hung out with any pro guys. But I do remember being in the dugout at Tech when I was like 11, 12, and just remembering, how awesome those guys were and how nice they were and how well they treated me. So that that's kind of what I like to do, try to give back just like those guys did to me.
Um, that's really, really cool. So I really hope soon you can, well, maybe I could see you sometimes. I think, well, I mean they're in the same division, but the Nationals are playing the Braves a lot, so maybe I could come see you in a game if you get called up soon.
100%, man. If I get called up, you just hit my line. I'll leave some tickets for you.
Mm.
No
Okay.
worries.
Okay, so Jack, you're in the Nats organization right now, the Rochester Red Wings. But let's go back in time. You grew up in Alpharetta, Georgia, which is just outside of Atlanta. So how did you get started with baseball?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I kind of grew up into a baseball family. My grandfather, who was one of my best friends, still is one of my best friends. He pitched for the Phillies back in the day. Um, I think he played 5 or 6 years in the minor leagues. My mom's brother, John Troutwine, pitched for the Red Sox in the big leagues. My mom's other brother, Dave Troutwine, pitched for the Mets in the minor leagues. And then my dad played at Georgia Tech. So when I was born, they kind of threw me onto a baseball field and gave me a bat and a bat and a ball. And they just said, go out there and have fun. And, just, I always wanted to be like them. So from a young age, I always just was asking my dad how to hit, how to throw, hit me ground balls. So that's kind of how I got my start.
My dad has been my coach for well, he was my coach for a long time. I think up until 12 years until last year, but he's not my coach anymore. But it's really been a good ride with him.
100%, man. You got to cherish those years.
Yeah.
Those are
So
your number one fans right there.
were you hooked on baseball right away, or did you have any other interests, like any other sports?
Yeah, it's another good question. So I think I was hooked on it right away, and then I started playing basketball, and I was like, you know what, this is my true love. Like I loved how the game was fast paced. There was never any stops. You could just kind of go out. You could in baseball, you kind of want to sometimes simmer your energy. In basketball, you want to let it all eat. So I really liked basketball. I liked football as well. I didn't like getting hit though, so I was like, okay, that's probably not the future for me. But I loved baseball. I loved basketball. I actually played a lot of tennis growing up too because my mom's a tennis pro. So
Oh,
those were
really?
kind of the main three for me. Yeah, and I never specialized until I got to maybe my senior year of high school. But I grew up playing all three of those sports.
Okay, that's
What about
really
you? What do you play other than baseball? I know you played basketball.
yeah, I'm doing winter basketball. I mean, I'd be really good at football if I played it, but I really don't want to like risk injury.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true. I saw a couple of your Instagrams of you running and racing your dad. He seemed pretty fast, so you got
yeah,
to beat him though. You
I
can't keep
don't.
letting him beat you.
I don't do any tracker stuff.
Okay.
I did taekwondo until I was maybe 11 years
Oh
old.
dang.
I got my black belt in it, but I don't do it anymore. I
So I
mean,
don't want to make you mad, huh?
I do,
You
yeah.
kick my butt.
And I'm super into VR. VR is like my favorite thing ever.
Is that vertical reality
Virtual
or what?
reality, yeah.
Virtual reality? Yeah, I don't even
Yeah.
know what VR is, man. I'm too old
Mhm.
for that stuff.
Yeah, the Oculus. It's so fun.
Okay. Nice.
And Legos, as you can see, like maybe you could see a few Legos over here.
Yeah.
And
That's a
def and
sweet
def and
collection.
definitely superhero stuff like Marvel comics.
Okay.
Mhm.
Nice, man. I'm trying to get into some sort of collection, so maybe I'll start collecting some Legos. You gotta help me out there though. I don't know much about them.
Yeah. So baseball is a fun sport and it's supposed to be fun, but a lot of people take it really seriously. So what was your relationship with baseball when you were my age?
Yeah, I think that's kind of been a work in progress. when you go play other sports like basketball, football, just in nature, it's kind of more of like a fun, energetic sport. So in baseball, there's a lot of failure. So I think when I was a kid, I didn't really handle failure very well. So that sometimes took away the joy out of the game for me. But as a kid, you succeed a lot more than I do now. So good games, I was always having fun. Bad games, iffy. I was a little bit of a roller coaster back then. So I think as I got older and started realizing that I'm blessed to play this game. Not a lot of people are still able to play this game at 26 at a high level. I started kind of taking that and thinking, why not go out there and have fun? And I think a lot of the guys in the clubhouse, in AA and AAA, were my age or a little younger, and they brought energy, they brought the fun. So I think over the last couple of years, I've started to have a lot more fun on the field and kind of take it all in and just go out there and not treat it so much like a job and treat it like a game.
Mm-hmm. So we're filming this interview in February, but this will maybe come out in May, maybe. I have no
Okay,
idea. Um,
nice.
but where do you picture yourself when this interview comes out?
I'm gonna have to say, hopefully the big leagues. I think my fiance always talks about speaking things into existence. So that's where my head's at right now.
She's right.
Trying to channel a lot of positive vibes out there in the universe. So let's play on the big leagues in May.
That's really, really cool. Think positive, produce positive.
I
That's what my
love that
dad
right
always
there.
tells me. Yeah.
There you go, brother.
So
Nice.
this area where I grew up and you grew up has like a ton of travel ball organizations available for kids now. But when you were a teenager, who did you play with?
I played for Team Georgia, TGBA back in the day. I think I started playing with them when I was 14. I played with them all the way until 18. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I don't see anymore. I see a lot of kids switching year to year. And so I think that was a blessing for me because I got to play, when you're 14, freshman year, all the way up till your senior year, I got to play with the same group of guys. So you're always comfortable. You kind of feed off each other's energy. So I think that was a huge thing for me, was able to play every single summer with the same group of guys, to get better with those guys, to kind of put in the hard work with those guys. So that's one thing for me. I tell all my kids, try to find a team and try to stick with that team because, in the end, it's going to help you out a lot. And I don't think, switching teams every single year should be the theme right now, but I think that's where we're going. So if I had any advice for younger kids, I would just say, like, hey, find a group of guys you like, 9 or 10 dudes, and just go out there and have fun with them and win as many games as possible.
Mhm.
So who do you play for?
I play on the same team as Spencer, so we play for the TG
Okay.
Diamondbacks.
Okay,
Mhm.
nice, man. I heard that's a good program, so
Yeah.
you're in a good spot.
They're making a huge facility bigger than the Perfect Game ones. The Perfect
I
Game
saw that.
facility, yeah.
That's going to
Um,
be crazy. Hopefully they'll. When will they be done with that? Next year, 2 years?
I don't know, 2024, 2025 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, they started it like
I
maybe a
hope
year
I'm still
ago.
playing when that's around. I would love to go out there and have some fun.
Yeah.
Okay. And how many
So
kids are on your team?
12 kids,
Okay. Okay.
including me. So
Okay.
looking back, what is something you wish you knew as you tried out for your high school team?
I think, just thinking back about the question you just asked me, is just going out there and having fun. I put a lot of pressure on myself back in the day, in high school, because you wanna play in college, you want to go pro, but I think I wish I just took one day at a time and just had fun and kind of cherish those moments with those guys. So for me, it's just taking things day by day. It's hard not to look at, you know, a year from now, 2 years from now, the future. But I think if I could go back in time, I would just kind of be present.
Okay. Um, so did you play travel ball and high school ball?
I did, yeah. I went to Blessed Trinity, so I was fortunate enough to win two state championships there in 2014 and 2015. So that was a lot of fun. That was actually the last time I won something like that. In college, I never got the chance to win a conference title. I lost in one my sophomore year, and then in pro ball, I haven't got the chance to get to the playoffs yet. So I'm looking forward to doing that this year.
That school's in Roswell, right?
Yeah, it is. It's right next to Roswell High School.
Yeah, that's a good baseball school. So I actually
It,
was watching a few clips of you. There's like a few clips like fan made where you're like dancing to music, I guess. But there's one clip of you where you hit a walk off. I don't know what like the situation was, but you hit a walk off when you were in college. Like I don't know if you remember that, but like how was that moment for you?
I do remember that.
It was
I
against
think I had
Iowa.
it was against Iowa. Yeah, I think I've had 3 walk-offs. One in pro ball in Double A, and then 2 in college, and that was against Iowa. And I think we were down by 1 with the man on second and third with
It
2 outs.
was 10th inning.
And I'm pretty sure I was 0 for 5 going into that at bat. So that was a huge one for me. It was fun.
So I think you hit a ground ball up the middle,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes past the second at shortstop, and then they both score. So
Yep.
what was it? Was it just like a regular season game? Was that to win anything?
I think it was later on in the season. I think we were out of the race by that point. But in college, and I tell everybody this, college baseball is so fun because you only play 56 games. So each game feels like a playoff game. You know, when you get to pro ball, you play 150 games
162.
and then 162 in the big leagues. So um, every game in college seems that much more important. So whenever you can get a win, especially when you're playing against a conference rival like Iowa, it was huge. So I remember, hitting that ball, seeing it go through, and having us score those 2 runs and threw the helmet off, ran to my teammates who were all some of my best friends, my roommates. So it's just a really cool experience when you get to experience that with a good group of guys.
Mm-hmm. So you went to Northwestern in Chicago to college and to
Hmm?
play baseball. What did you study there?
I studied economics with a minor in business.
Uh, did that have any like? Do you have any plans for
That's
like
after
you know
baseball.
what I'm trying to say? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I got drafted as a senior. So I kind of figured that if I had another good year, I would have got drafted, but I kind of had to have a backup plan. So I used my degree and I got a job at Deloitte Consulting doing financial advisory. And I actually worked there my first off season. But other than that, I don't know where or what I want to do after ball. Maybe something with sales. But we'll see. We'll see how that degree holds up in a couple of years. I think I've lost a lot of my knowledge since then. So I don't know. What do you want to do growing up? You want to stick to podcasting or
Communications. With a
communications?
minor in I don't know Spanish maybe. Hopefully.
You already got your minor figured out at 13 years old, huh?
Yeah, that was just like a guess. I have no idea what I want to do for a minor, but I know I want to do
No, I
baseball
love
and
that.
communications.
Okay. What's your dream school?
Florida,
Florida?
the Florida Gators. Yeah.
Okay. I played with let's see, I played with Tyler Dyson. You know that name?
No.
I think he was one of our top picks in our 2019 draft. He pitched at Florida, and I think he actually started the Game 3 College World Series when they won.
Ooh. Okay.
Who'd they
Not.
play? Who'd they play when they won that?
What? I Washington, I think. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I remember seeing that.
Or
So yeah,
maybe LSU. I honestly don't know. Um.
that'd be a fun
Maybe.
school to go to.
Yeah. Maybe you could get them on the podcast.
Yeah, hey, you let me know.
Hmm.
I'll hook you up.
Um. So. So you go to Chicago. So besides being far from home, what adjustments did you have to make as a college player?
Good question. The game speeds up. So I remember my freshman year, Northwestern's turf field. So balls kind of scoot on that thing. And I remember being out there my first day of practice at shortstop, and you have, fifth year seniors, 23-year-old dudes who are just twice as big as you hitting bullets to you at short. And the ball's getting on me in a half a second. I remember thinking to myself, like, wow, like, am I good enough to do this? Am I good enough to, succeed at college? So I think just kind of the mental adjustments, you know, having confidence and making sure that the game doesn't speed up too much on you, because you are going to make that error. You are going to strike out with the bases loaded. But if you let that play snowball into the next day, into the next week, into the next month, you know, you're really not going to have a spot on the team for much longer. So I think being able to slow my mind down and, getting into the weight room, getting bigger, getting stronger, getting faster, and trying to catch up to these 23, 22-year-old dudes who are on your team as an 18-year-old, skinny kid. So there's a lot of adjustments made in college, and especially when you're in Chicago and you're away from home, and it's you don't see your parents, you don't see your brother, you don't see your sisters. So it's definitely a tough adjustment. I remember after the first probably 2 or 3 weeks, I called my mom. I was like, I want to transfer. Like, I want to get out of here. And she was like, give it a year, see how you feel after the end of the year, and then we could talk about it. So your mind kind of goes into a lot of places when you're far from home. So I'm glad I stuck it out and got a good degree.
Mhm. Do you think you handled any of the adversity well?
Yeah, I mean, I think for the most part, there was definitely ups and downs. My sophomore year, I struggled the entire year, but I think ultimately that was very good for me in the long run. Going and going up until college, I was pretty good. I never really failed a lot, and I had a lot of success, and I had a lot of people telling me that I was this and that, and then college kind of humbles you, and you kind of have to figure out what you need to work on, and how you're going to do it on your own with the help of the coaches and some of your teammates. So I think ultimately it was good for me to fail my first 2 years. And then my junior and senior year, when I started to say, screw it, I'm gonna go out there and have fun, and I know I'm the best player out there, and kind of, even if you're not the best player out there, just kind of instilling that confidence
Yeah.
in between the lines, it really helps you play. And I always tell my kids, if you don't have confidence, you're a shell of yourself. So if you're a 400 hitter with no confidence, you're gonna hit 200. So I think having confidence and using failure really helped me in college.
So, as a shortstop, what was it about your play that drew interest from the Washington Nationals, who at the time had Trey Turner?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think defensively has always been my strong suit. I think, defensively in college, my junior and senior year, I think I made 3 or 4 errors both years. So I had a good glove in college. I could always hit for contact. I didn't strike out much. I got on base. I didn't hit very many homers. I didn't drive the ball crazy. So I just think, bat the ball skills, speed, and the glove really helped me get drafted.
I think that was the same year that the Washington Nationals won the World Series too. So
It was that
were you
exactly.
like glad, I guess, that you got
Yeah,
drafted
I
by
was
them?
100%. I think that was very fun for me to watch. I was home at that time watching those guys go win a title, and it just gives you motivation. It's like, hopefully in a couple of years I get the chance to do that. So it just makes you work harder. And I met a lot of those guys, and they're all great guys, and they help us out. So um, that was a really cool thing to watch. Were you happy or no? You're not a Nats guy. You just had the jersey.
One of my mom's friends, sister's friend's husband, I guess, plays for the
Okay.
Nats. Well, no, he did play for the Nats. I think he plays for the Phillies now. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, she got me this shirt when got called up to the majors.
It looks good on you. Maybe when you get drafted, you already have a jersey, so you can take some
Yeah.
sweet pictures that night.
hmm so besides 2020 not having minor league baseball, have you enjoyed the journey so far?
Yes, I have. I think, getting to meet guys from all over the country, all over the world, um, it's been super fun. I never really thought that playing baseball for a job would be a reality when I was a kid. As you know, when you're a young guy, you look up to all these guys, and you're like, there's no way I'll ever be able to do that. So that's been a really, really cool thing to do. Is, I'm living out my dream. I'm living out my dream with a bunch of my closest friends and my best friends, and going out to dinner with them after the games, or working out in the morning with them. It's just there's a lot of cool experiences that I get to experience. I get to share with those guys, and it's been a kind of a dream come true for me.
So I haven't been to many minor league ballparks. Just the Stripers Park, Coolray Field, and the Montgomery Biscuit Stadium. So how's the Rochester Red Wings ballpark, and should I go sometime?
Yeah, man, definitely. It was very nice. So I only got to play. I got called up to AAA with 3 weeks left in the season, and so I got to play 2 weeks at home there, and then I got to play 1 week in Buffalo. And Buffalo was awesome because during COVID, that's where the Blue Jays played.
Yeah.
But our AA stadium in Harrisburg is awesome too. It's on an island, so like you drive over a bridge. It's called a city island. So both those parks are awesome. And yeah, if you ever get the chance, for sure stop on by. When I was a kid, like you, I wanted to go to every single minor league game. I actually collected minor league baseball hats. So like I was a big minor league baseball fan. So we were kind of similar at your age, 13.
Do the Nats have any plan for you, like spring training? Are you?
Yeah, I mean, I hope they do. I'm going down March 7th, so we'll take our physicals the 8th, and then we'll probably start scrimmaging, the day after that, and probably be down there for 3 weeks or so, get the body ready, see some live pitching, and just kind of getting into game shape. You can do a lot of workouts, you can do a lot of running, a lot of lifting, but the game shape's a little different. Getting into that squatting position at third or short, for 9 innings straight for 3 hours, it kind of wears on you in the beginning. So I'm looking forward to getting down there and kind of shaking some of the rust off.
And last one, if you could go back in time, what's something about your baseball life you could tell your 13-year-old self?
Just to have fun. I think you're doing it the right way. Baseball podcasts are fun. I think you're sending and spreading the right message that it's just a game, and it's a children game, and you're supposed to go out there and have fun and not worry about your average, not worry about your stats, not worry about what your parents are going to think, not worry about what your classmates are going to think. Just go out there and have fun and treat it like a wiffle ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll definitely like be really happy when that day comes when you get called up to the majors. I hope that comes soon
I
for you.
appreciate you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully next off season you'll get to come out there, and we can take some ground balls, fly balls, and we can hit together, and you can teach me some tips.
Maybe well, we could probably hopefully we'll see you in Atlanta, but if not, then we'll definitely see you in Gwinnett.
100%. So where do you work out at? What's the facility?
Undiscovered
Okay.
training. It's the same place where I don't know if you know him, but Anthony Maldonado, Quincy Naporti. I've had them on the show before.
I played against Quincy a couple times in AA.
Did
He
you
was with
win?
the Erie Seawolves, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if I think we won some, and they
Oh,
won
I thought
some
you were
too. But I
I thought
remember
you were talking
he
about
had a really good
college.
year. He had a lot of homers, a lot of hard contact.
Yeah. He
Oh no,
won.
I played against Quincy in AA. Yeah.
Yeah, he won the home run. He was the home run king, I guess, for AA this year. So, and he went to Florida State, which is my rival. Because
There you
I'm
go,
a
man.
Florida fan, yeah.
Talk a little trash to him or what?
Not much, but I guess so, yeah. Well, now it's time for the not so rapid fire questions, the final segment before we wrap it on up. So you can answer with as much or as little info as you want. You ready?
I got it. Let's go.
Atlanta or Chicago?
Atlanta.
Big Ten or SEC?
Not even close.
What was that? I can hear you.
Big Ten. Not even close.
Which current major league pitcher would you like to face?
Scherzer.
Better date night at Top Golf or axe throwing?
Top golf.
And what's the last book you read?
That's a great question. I read Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. I think that was the last book I read. Have you read that book?
No, what is it about? What is that?
Maybe you should wait a couple of years. You get a little older, and then you should read that book. It's awesome,
Okay.
though.
And last one, what is your favorite baseball movie and how do you relate?
Favorite baseball movie? I love Major League. I think it's funny. I think it puts a funny spin on the game. So I'm a big Major League guy. I also grew up loving that. What's the movie where the guy, the like 12-year-old kid's the manager of the team?
Oh,
You know that one?
Little Big League.
Yes, I also love that one.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my favorites growing up. What about yours?
Um,
What's your favorite?
Definitely Major League, Sandlot, and Field of Dreams.
Okay, yeah, Sandlot's a good one too. Sandlot 2 is not very good though. They kind of ruined it there.
No, they shouldn't have rebooted it, but
Yeah, don't touch classics.
mm-hmm. Okay, we did it. Anything else you want to add or any questions for me?
I want to ask, okay, for you, what are two strengths and one weakness of your baseball game?
Hmm. One strength is probably outfielding, and I could track the ball really well. And another strength is probably my contact. I'm a really
Okay,
good contact hitter. One weakness for me, definitely my elbow, because I can't really throw any curveballs, and that definitely hurts my elbow, and I don't want to be out for 6 weeks again.
exactly. Okay, how about this? Give me two dream guests on your podcast.
Um, I don't know, someone in the Hall of Fame maybe, like Derek Jeter, maybe Mike Trout. That'd definitely be a
Okay,
good one. Um, I don't know, like Cal Ripken Jr. maybe.
those are good. Those are good ones.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite center fielder right now? Is it Trout?
My favorites, Trout, yes. I love Brett Phillips and Kevin Kiermaier. Uh, Brandon Nimmo, he's pretty good too. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
those are my favorite center fielders.
nice man. Those are all good guys to follow.
Mm-hmm. Is that it? Is that it for you?
Let's see if I can think of one more. Hmm.
What's your are you Marvel or DC? Are you a or DC guy?
I haven't gotten into any of that yet. I need to.
That's like the third interviewer in a row that said that they don't really get anything.
You when you get old like me, I don't know, man. I feel
Mm.
like I sit down at 9 p.m. and then I'm already tired. I'm going to sleep.
Mhm.
So
Do you
if you
do
were
you
me, where would you start? Where would you start? Would you want to start with Superman, Batman?
I would start with definitely Batman and Superman, but watch Iron Man, the first Iron Man,
Okay.
and then just download Disney Plus. That's all you got to do.
Okay.
And then you'll
I've
enjoy.
been trying to get into Star Wars.
Yeah, that's pretty good too. Star Wars or Harry
Okay.
Potter?
Star Wars. Never seen a Harry Potter movie, never read a book, never will.
I think I read all the books in one summer. It's the summer of 2020 because I had nothing to do because it was quarantine
You read all those books?
in like 3 months
So
because
you're
I had
pretty
nothing.
smart, huh?
Yeah, so and so. Do you have any questions about
What are
my
your
room?
grades like right now?
All A's.
Not a baby. Keep it
Mhm.
up.
Do you have any questions about my room?
Let's see what we got back there. What are those posters on the wall?
Mission Impossible, the Mission Impossible movies.
Okay. I
Um,
have seen that. Those are great.
yeah, they are pretty good. I'm excited for the new one this July.
Question for you. Who's your favorite teammate and why?
My favorite team. That's like picking a favorite parent. Uh,
That's true. Okay. Well then give me give me an example of what one of your favorite teammates does to make him one of your favorite teammates. Like why is he one of your guys?
they're a nice person. They're good at baseball. Uh,
Okay.
they hustle. They hustle really
Okay.
hard. And they just put attitude and effort.
Are you a fan of the bat flip?
Not when it's like a wall scraper, but when if you hit one 450 dead center, then yeah.
Okay.
I would do it.
Would you?
Yeah. I mean not
Did
not not like occasionally, not like what I just said, like a wall scraper.
yeah.
Or not when we're
Did
down
you do
by
it during
20
Cooperstown?
runs. No. Most of mine were like pop-ups that were just really, really like wall scrapers, but I had a good one. Yeah. I did the Brett Phillips airplane though.
I love that. You can't go wrong with that. What
Mhm.
was how far did y'all go to Cooperstown? Like how far did y'all make it?
We were like 16th place, I think. Yeah.
Impressive.
Because like half the teams got out in the first round, so there's only like
Yeah.
30 left, and then we got into like the 16th place.
Where's your big
Um,
trip this year? Is it like
we
Florida,
so
Carolina?
far we don't have one yet.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Have you been to the Cal Ripken one?
Yes, we went last year. 2 years ago, to
Oh, so
Pigeon Forge.
you've gone everywhere then, huh? You're
Pretty
living the
much.
dream.
Thank you. Well, is that everything?
That's it from my end,
Mhm.
brother.
You're doing your own interview today.
Hey, I want to learn more about you as well.
Well, Jack Dunn, everyone, thank you so much. I really appreciate you doing this with me. Did you have a blast?
Thanks, man. I'll come on anytime you want me to.
Thank you so much. If you want to follow Jack Dunn's career, he's at JackDunn26 on Instagram. And you can help my show by subscribing to Baseball Podcasts Are Fun on YouTube and Spotify, and going to my new website, baseballpodcastarsarefun.com. I even have shirts, stickers, and pins for sale. And going to my Instagram, Baseball Podcasts Are Fun. But until next time, that was Jack Dunn. I'm Grayson Knight, and this was Baseball Podcasts Are Fun. Don't forget to swing for the fences. See ya!